Hi everyone, do you remember Dr. Mason, the professor in the Department of Education at the University of British Columbia? Dr. Mason is interested in pre-service teachers' self-initiated engagement in anti-racist education. In this video, I'm going to share with you my knowledge mobilization plan to get the research to Dr. Mason. Organizations have become increasingly interested in evidence-based processes, and such a shift opens society to opportunities for innovation. As a phenomenon specific to the last 2 centuries, the ways in which evidence is transferred from research to practice continues to be developed. Levin's Elements of Research Impact represents knowledge mobilization through the relationships between core components such as research, practice, and mediators, and frames them within the context of time and society. It considers the context of Dr. Mason and allows for 2-directional knowledge transfers between all components. Let's start by looking at the context of the research production. Notice that this box is smaller than the context of research use. This is appropriate for this knowledge mobilization plan because the purpose of research is to serve Dr. Mason, who will ultimately determine how anti-racist pedagogy will look in his class. Do you see the mediators box in the center? That's me. I have learned from the research, and this plan will connect my interpretations to Dr. Mason's interest in anti-racist education. Mediation needs to occur with time and great care so that the pre-existing relationship between the mediator and the practitioner is important for the research to be used in Dr. Mason's daily practice. Levin's model is especially relevant to Dr. Mason's knowledge mobilization plan because of the inclusion of time and context. Change takes time and is situated in our ever-changing society. Let's return to that knowledge. I found 4 tensions in teaching anti-racist pedagogy. Individual experience negate the structural and systemic forces of privilege. Pre-service teachers need to be told that disruption is uncomfortable. Alternative formats of representation is helpful, and the concept of a double image can help students understand identity disruption. Through this knowledge mobilization plan, 3 strategies are offered to disseminate the themes of identity disruption in anti-racist education. The first strategy is to sit with Dr. Mason over coffee to discuss the themes of how they may apply to his course. I'll determine his interests, then gauge follow-up suggestions. The first follow-up strategy is to ask Dr. Mason if he would be interested in having access to the articles that I referenced because he is an academic with extensive experience in the field. The second follow-up strategy is to ask Dr. Mason if he would like me to write notes on his syllabus of where these tensions can be attended to. This would include suggested course readings, discussion post topics, assignment requirements, and placement recommendations. These would be carefully framed as spaces of opportunity rather than requirements. Dr. Mason is the first person required to initiate impact since it is his interest to improve his students' engagement in identity disruption. As such, Dr. Mason is at the center of impact, Tier 1. If Dr. Mason chooses to mobilize the knowledge, he has the potential to engage in a larger network. In his interview, Dr. Mason indicated interest in sharing the knowledge at UBC's faculty seminars. The UBC faculty is a second tier to impact since it enables research sharing. The seminars are open to non-faculty, so the knowledge has the potential to reach a third tier, local community. Dr. Mason broadens the concepts to future teachers who will find themselves in schools. His pre-service teachers are second tiers to positive impact. With this knowledge, the pre-service teachers have the potential to influence their coworkers, administration, and students, who are third tiers to impact. Dr. Mason cares to provide his pre-service teachers with an education that is relevant, rigorous, and memorable. For him, the expected positive impact of this knowledge mobilization plan is a student's success on their first assignment. As my time in Vancouver will end shortly, Dr. Mason and I will only be available to communicate through email after this term. I also recognize Dr. Mason's other responsibilities so that his interest in pre-service teacher identity disruption may waver with time. Since the knowledge mobilization strategies in this plan are based on a working relationship, I have ensured that they are respectful of Dr. Mason's context and current capacity. Face-to-face contact between the mediator and participant builds trust. An established trusting relationship is important to this plan because Dr. Mason shared his interest in pre-service teacher identity disruption with a level of trust.
Created using Powtoon.